Welcome to the Lowdown. Feed the fucking Rhino. How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
So, Download Festival. You did it in 2012. Like, having known you lot personally for a while, I know that it's something that like you take super seriously, and the months run up to it is like, this is a place to mark territory and to make people stand up and pay attention to what you do. It felt like that was a big moment for Feed the Rhino Download 2012.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the old cliche, isn't it? But with Download, it's the festival that you grow up watching, and you know, your sort of childhood heroes play there, and you want to go there and do a good job. So for us to play there and be a part of it was something that really special, and hopefully this time round it'll be bigger and better than it was in 2012.
Yeah, like getting the opportunity to go out and sort of, in a way, prove ourselves to ourselves, but and to, you know, a really big crowd was like awesome, and it was just like, definitely. It was a great reaction that year.
It was, especially as we played on a Sunday as well. We played early on a Sunday, and the turnout was...
Yeah. Like three hangovers deep by that point.
We said to you, didn't we? Because I think we got interviewed with you literally straight after.
Yeah.
And Jimbo was still hungover from the night before.
A 3-day calm down, just like that.
And like,
it was good.
It's funny, like before you turned up, we were talking about. I saw you lot play at the Old Blue Last years ago,
I remember that.
There was a moment like
Blue Last, was that?
Goes to the Thousand.
The Plight.
Was it Plight?
Yeah, it was the Plight.
Yeah.
And like I always remember thinking that's a blueprint for the way bands should be. In that, like, it was a room full of people who couldn't really suss you out, and it was like, if you don't get it, we're gonna make you get it.
Yeah.
Is it that on a global, on a grander scale? Because people will be walking in there that will know of your name, and will know of your reputation, but not know what to expect or what you sound like.
Yeah,
is it a moment to kind of make people go, "This is what we're about"?
Yeah, I mean, we try and do that every time we go out. I mean, like,
from Download to a pub.
The thing is with us playing live, it's always something we've really enjoyed doing, and everything we do, we never plan anything. We just go out and we do it.
Playing live is everything to us. I mean, you know, with record sales and stuff, it's you know how the market is nowadays. With you know, they're not non-existent, but for us, playing live is what it's all about.
That's
you need to go out there. You need to get yourself into people's faces, and you need to get yourself recognised.
Yeah, we're not like the sort of band that sort of goes out and we want to sort of induces like massive pit of violence or anything like that.
We just want to create excitement.
We just want to create excitement. We just want to go out and we just want to have fun. Yeah. I mean, we didn't turn around to someone and go, look, can you do yourself a favour and like smash your head into that wall over there, please?
Yeah, nothing like that. We want to leave a reaction and make the kids feel something. You know?
And it's the sound of the band is naturally going to bring that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not a lot in the way of pleasantries when it comes to Rhino.
No, I mean, it's always been in your face.
It's beautifully brutal, though.
It is, mate. You know, mate, I love that shit. You know that.
Yeah. But we didn't plan it to be like that. It's not like we sat down and we were like, we want to sound this certain way. Literally, when we first got together, it was me, Chris, and James, and I was bugging James for ages. I was like, come on, let's get together. And his brother Sam. But like he come a little bit like later. But I was always bugging him. I was like, look, I really want to play some heavy music. Let's get together. And he was like, yeah, all right, so let's do something. And we literally we turned up at a practice room and we plugged in. And that was it. We plugged in and we played, and that was it.
We wrote like 2 or 3 songs in our first practice, I think.
Yeah, we did. We wrote.
We had
Mr. Red Eye. What did we write? The Butchers. Sitting Ducks and Mr. Red Eye, and we done that in our first ever sort of jam together. Yeah, and that's the way it, and from then on it just
something I always love about our late night conversations is the willingness to not fit in with anyone else. It's not a case of we don't want to be part of that scene and we don't want to be part of that scene. We're Feed the Rhino and we're our own thing.
We don't want to promote scenes. We don't want to promote scenes. We want to promote great music. You know, we want to write. Like we grew up listening to bands like the grunge era, Soundgarden, Nirvana, and 70s.
You wouldn't know and look this pair of you.
Yeah. No, but as well as the whole like sort of new metal vibe and black metal bands, and just bands that genuinely made you feel something.
Also, bands that really sort of show that passion. I remember when we were first.
It's not about selling t-shirts. It's about writing great music, and hopefully letting the kids feel something from it.
Like
That's what
when
we're
we
about.
first started jamming, like I was listening to like loads of Deftones, and like it was just emotional and massive and heavy, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is that's the feeling that you get, and that's what we.
It's
that's
just
what we
generally
wanna
that
do.
feeling of excitement, you know. You listen to bands like Rage Against the Machine, like say Deftones, Pantera.
Deftones is a good example because like they're a band that have always existed on their own terms. Do you know what I mean? People tried putting them in with nu metal. No, not really. People tried putting them in with the post-hardcore stuff and at the drive-in and all that stuff that happened afterwards.
They just did what
not
they wanted
really.
to do.
Like they just kind of sit on their own terms. So I can see a correlation there.
Exactly. I mean, there's a few bands.
Does that make you stand out on a festival bill as well? Do you know what I mean? There's so many different bands that are there. There's like
I hope so. I hope so. That's what I think.
I think you know everyone would like to sort of like put a band in a pocket. They'd be like, that band is a hardcore band, or it's a rock band, or it's a metal band. But at the end of the day, with us, we've never sat down and wanted to be anything. We just wanted to be a band that played.
We're all a bit sort of too old and too long in the tooth now anyway to fit into any scene nowadays. We've been doing it for a long time.
Stubborn, I think, is the word, mate.
I think you're right, and I think we just, you know, we're confident with what we do.
Yeah.
Without being arrogant, hopefully.
No,
and just,
all right.
we just want to go out there and put it in people's faces, and that's it.
And there's the third record is done and dusted. Like, it probably won't be out in time for download, but having heard a couple of demos a while ago, like it feels like there's an added. Not like I think know-how's a kind of interesting word because you know you've been a band for a couple of years now. You know what you're about. You know what you do well, and you're adding to that. Like it feels like it's definitively Feed the Rhino, but there's a melodic edge that like.
It's a song. I think it's just better songwriting. Massively. Yeah, I think we've just sort of.
Is it fair to say it's more melodic though?
It's definitely more melodic.
It's lost none of the crunch.
I mean, it's still really brutal, but it's definitely got a melodic edge to it, and I think that's just a maturity and. Sign of being a band.
When you're writing different songs or you're writing an album, you know, like when we first started writing Mr. Red Eye, we was all in a certain sort of place in our life, you know, and you know, we was all having sort of different personal experiences and stuff like that, and that come together and wrote that album. We've been together now for like over 5 years, I think, and we've come along as sort of like five blokes coming along, and where we are now, that sort of has, you know, influenced us in writing this album.
I think we wanted
the maturity is just a natural progression.
We wanted to use other influences as well,
basically.
you know. We wanted to use our other influences other than just being really heavy all the time. We wanted to use our other influences that are just as important growing up into the new record. We feel like as a band we're stronger and more tight than we've ever been before.
But it was easy to write this record though compared to the others for me.
It was, yeah.
It just come together really easy.
Well,
the flow of the album was just, we were writing stuff and we was like not unsettled by it. We were writing and we were like, well that's it.
Well,
that's it. There was nothing better that we could do. So
interesting that it's you that's saying that it come together because like the biggest growth on this record, with no disrespect to the music, which is as crunchy and like dynamic as always, but like there's singing this time out, right? Is that something that's come naturally to you, and does that add an extra dimension to what you're going to do live as well?
Yeah, I mean, I always want to try and push myself vocally, but I always want to know my limits. Like I want to know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and I'm not going to try and be something I'm not. Like I'm not going to go out and try and sing like Miles Kennedy from Aldbridge because it's not going to happen. But I can go and sing how I'm going to sing and try and make it sound to the best of my ability within Feed the Rhino. But at the same time, a lot of it is not just down to me, it's down to these guys. They kind of pushed me in that direction and said, look, you can actually do that. And I'm like,
I think we
reckon I can.
Us as a band, we generally push Lee quite a bit as well.
Not physically.
We'll push each other. Oh yeah, we'll push a little bit.
I'm beating every session, just beating in the corner.
I think that goes for every member of the band. Though we're all pushing each other to improve and do better. And
we want to write
and progress.
Every time we write something, we to be blunt, we don't want to put out shit. We don't want to put out crap. We want to put out a good record, and we believe with this one that it will be the record that we've wanted to write for many years.
Well, it's the record that we're most proud of, and we're looking forward to playing it. And to me, that's all important. I think that's what's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Stoked on being at Download?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, over the moon.
Over the moon. Always stoked about being at Download.
Not only do we get to play like the most awesome festival around, but we get to
see Aerosmith.
Get messed up for a few days as well.
Nice. You're gonna come down for the whole weekend and take it in. That's blinding.
We always do. We always like come and hang out. We like sort of. It's a great social event.
I just hope we're playing on a Friday, not a Sunday. Sunday we're going to be walking on the street. Oh God!
And like, is there any particular band this year that you're like, oh, I fancy some of that?
Yeah.
Sixth.
Dillinger.
That's great. Yeah.
Dillinger's going to be awesome. Let Live are going to be awesome.
Aerosmith.
Rob Zombie as well. I want to see a bit of Rob Zombie.
Fade the Rhino going to be bloody awesome. Make sure you catch him. Stick around for more from the Lowdown.